Hey everybody, it's Eddie Joe on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. Was good, was good, was good. So I don't want you to forget to invest in yourself today. Today can be an important day. Sorry, it's morning time and I got to put some lotion on. Hong Kong is accelerating its use of the digital yuan, integrating to enhance cross-border efficiency with mainland China. That's a very big deal. The ECNY is going to wind up being something of significance. When, I wouldn't be able to tell you, but right now, that's a big move for it. That's a big step. So definitely something to pay attention to. A bigger step. India's Unified Payments Interface, UPI, expands to Qatar via NPCI, QNB, and NetStars, revolutionizing cross-border payments for travelers and businesses. That accounts for 50% of those travel transactions around the world. 50%. So yeah, I need you to stop and think about, how that can affect your bag. That unified payments platform is no joke. And it's been going on quietly. Little deals here, little deals there. And now it's accounting for a tremendous amount of market space, a market share. And so when I look at it, I'm kind of like, oh, so India's on the blow up. So all those companies that are exporting jobs to India, India's taking them all in, taking all of that knowledge. And I'm pretty sure, that at some point, companies are going to start to realize, holy moly, India doesn't need you anymore. It's a business move. And we're slowly watching India being able to say, oh, well, we have all of the knowledge. We've shipped it out. We've given it to them. Same thing we did with, manufacturing. You're hearing China right now talk about, hey, we don't need your chips. We don't want the cheesy, watered down chips that you want NVIDIA to sell us. And our chips are coming along just fine. So how long will it be before we get bunny hopped in chip manufacturing, in cross-border payments? Excuse me. These are all big conversations to have. While we waste time bickering over things, dividing ourselves, other countries are eating our lunch, and we don't even notice that the food is missing. And companies keep outsourcing. Keep outsourcing. You're going to outsource to your own demise, in my humble opinion. I mean, I can understand outsourcing a little bit, right? You need help. Totally get that. But the amount of outsourcing, the greater than 50% level of outsourcing is ridiculous. And again, we're not talking about low-level jobs. We're talking about leadership positions, strategic positions. And not to mention, yes, a big bulk of the get it done positions. Now, what happens when you put all that together? Get it done, leadership, thought, don't need you anymore. And clearly, with a move like their unified payments platform, that should be a sign. That should be a little flag that's waving in the air saying, hey, it has begun. It has begun. So yeah, something else I'm paying attention to. Again, I have no issue with outsourcing jobs, offshoring jobs. It's to the extent that it is done that bothers me. Because to me, it raises risk. Two levels of risk. One, we're giving away a lot of intellectual property. Two, we are not training the people that are here to be able to take on those higher level jobs. So we're not training the middle people to take over high level jobs, and the lower level jobs are being taken over and out offshored or done by AI or automation. There's a lot that can happen. We should be paying attention to this, and companies should be waking up and going, maybe we should slow that down. Maybe we should rethink this. When you have really smart college kids coming out of college and can't find a job, but you're importing H-1B visa, that kid could do that job, but you want to import because you believe that that import is going to cost you less, or you just offshored the job. Now that kid is left to live at home, not earn money, not be able to afford whatever services you want to offer. And then you start eating yourself, don't you? Just saying. There's some common sense that I believe should be happening, and it's just not. It's just not. And it's troubling. So when I look at companies that have a certain percentage of outsourced jobs, offshore jobs, H-1 visa import jobs, immediate red flags, immediate lack of thought leadership at the uppermost levels. In my humble opinion, when I'm evaluating those companies, I sit back and go, oh, that's a problem. Because how many years do you have left? How many years do you have left to save money? How many years? How many years before one of these companies that you're outsourcing to says, yeah, we're going to open up our own bank. We're going to do our own thing. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to start this business, that business. Because all of the thought leadership, all of the get it done stuff is happening over there anyway. What happens over here? Makes you stop and wonder, right? And then what happens? Well, some of these kids are starting their own businesses, banding together and saying, listen, if we're not going to make money, we could at least work towards something. And they're starting to do that. And I'm telling you, the return on lack of investment is going to be huge. It is going to be huge. All those people that are out of work, that are finding different ways on how to make money, when things go awry in these businesses and they want to call those people back, it's going to be a problem. Because they'll be like, I've been out of the game for too long. I don't feel comfortable doing that right now. I don't know that I can remember what I used to do for a living because I've had to go do this to make money. So I'm kind of out of the game. What do you think? I'm going to get fired or laid off and I'm going to go home and I'm going to keep, working on things that make sense to me and keep my skills sharp? Or am I going to find another way to make money? And there you go. So you're knocking out localized thought leadership. And you're not creating new positions for entry-level resources. So they won't be able to come in and learn that whole thing, just misses out. Okay, you do you. Fed Governor Barr, I told you to listen to Fed speak. He's saying, listen, don't be so hasty with these rate cuts, inflation, tariffs, all that data, the data that they're not getting. BLS is the employees. Some of those employees are being called back in so they can run the numbers. Because the new regime realized, oh man, we actually kind of need those reports to go out. Yeah. Those numbers aren't just numbers. They impact the economy in massive ways. We've got to be paying more attention at the top. So certain numbers will wind up coming out later this month if those people decide to come back, because who knows if they would have had jobs when they came back. And if I'm them, I'm like, well, so if I come back, does that mean I get my back pay? Because I've got to go find another job. Just saying. And what's funny about that back pay thing, so the new regime is saying, oh, you're not going to get that back pay. And the reason why I'm talking about it is because you're affecting hundreds of thousands of people. Hundreds of thousands of people work for the United States government, and they were furloughed. And if you're going to say they're not going to get their back pay, here's the funny part about it. The new regime, the first time they were in office, signed the bill to make it a law that they had to get their back pay. So, yeah, I want to see how that plays out. Because like I said, a few 100,000 people. We're not talking about a couple of people here and there. No, we're talking about a few 100,000 people. And a lot of them in clusters of geographic locations, especially DMV area. DC, Maryland, Virginia. That's crushing economies. Just saying. Mitsubishi's MUFJ Astomo platform enables retail real estate investments. You want to know what it really does? It enables fractionalized real estate investment. That's right, tokenization. Woof. And MUFJ is Japan's largest player. Just saying, might want to pay attention to that. How long is it going to be before it gets here in a major way like that? It's not going to be long. I don't think so. The Marte Show, good morning. Google and Mandant identify a CLOP linked ransomware attack exploiting a 0-day in Oracle's EBS to steal data and demand ransoms. And it's rampant. And we're talking about all kinds of data. Social security numbers, driver's licenses, all kinds of data. And yet, these companies are still doing even more data grabs as often as they can. Yeah. Be mindful of your security. Be mindful of all of it. And now you understand why privacy and user sovereignty is such a big deal. Because every time we turn around, something's going on. Every time you turn around, oh, there's another hack, there's another hack, there's another hack. The chance of you having data that somebody else doesn't already have illegally is like slim and none. You had to have just come out the womb. And even then, your social security card number could be hacked. It could have been stolen. It's big business. It's big business. There are a lot of things going on in that space. Mexico delays Asian goods tariffs. They were supposed to vote on a 50% tariff against China, and they've delayed it right now. Yeah. Sparking debates over economic impact, trade relations, and balancing domestic interests with global supply chain risks. I told you, a lot of these countries, a lot of these people out there, companies that are doing all this stuff, don't understand that what happens in one country affects other countries. Yeah, it's a bigger deal than what most people think. The average person does not understand the actual impact of tariffs. I don't even understand it all. Because it's that far-reaching and that heavy-hitting. It's no walk in the park. So when you hear Michael Barr saying, hey, we might not want to do that. We might want to leave rates where they are. Because there are a lot of things that there are too many risks that we know are risks, and we don't have enough data to back it up. Now imagine you drop the rates one more time, and it's the wrong decision because you don't have all the data in front of you. And then the way it plays out is you shouldn't have dropped the rates at all. Maybe you should have raised them. Here's something else to consider. There was a retailer that announced numbers, I think yesterday, the day before, and it was record numbers because they raised prices, and it was record numbers of money that they made. And I sat there and I just said, record money, huh? In the face of tariffs, record money, record inflow. Oh, okay. Yeah, taking advantage of a situation. Just saying. Pay attention, people. There's a lot of stuff going on. Crypto industry survey reveals less than 10% of roles are entry level. Back to my point, with senior hires dominating and a talent gap from failed projects threatening sector growth. That's not all it is. You've got more senior people that have to accept less money for lesser roles. That's how these kids are getting boxed out. That's how the younger generation is getting boxed out. New entries into that particular sector. That's how they're getting boxed out. Because a lot of jobs are going over there. These are no longer like, well, that could happen. Nobody knows if that's actually, well, no, we're actually looking at it's actually happening. I actually heard somebody on CNBC this morning say, well, jobs are still here. It's not as bad as what people think. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, but you have all these companies that have just announced we're going to have job cuts. One company, we're going to lay off 2,000 people over the next, 2 years, blah, blah, blah. We have, this number, that number. And I just sit back and I just go, you've got to be kidding me. You don't see it. Okay. All right. maybe I wouldn't invest with you if you're a financial advisor or planner or something like that. Can't listen to your advice because you're not taking everything in. Interesting. I know debt is a lot right now, but what are your thoughts on U.S. buying back treasuries? That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it. That's funny. Monero launches Fluorine Fermi update to counter spy nodes using advanced algorithms and community tools to strengthen privacy protections. It's all because there was a company that, I think it was Chainalysis, that was able to track things, was able to track certain things. And they said, oh, via those kinds of nodes. And they were like, oh, so we have to put a stop to that. User sovereignty, privacy are very big deals. Very big deals. There was another one. Privacy advocates oppose Ireland's encryption bill. Ireland wants a back door to encryption. Huh? Yeah, nah. Nah. What's wrong with you people? What? Data is out there all over the place. Some of these countries and some of these companies don't know how to handle it, don't know how to secure it, and you want people to trust you having access to more. The level of abuse that goes on right now, I'm with those people. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Fundstrat predicts Ethereum will reach $4,200 before surging to $5,500, citing technical setups, institutional buying, and macroeconomic shifts. I can believe that. Japan's yen hits a 15-year low amid a $14 trillion carry trade, raising risks of a financial crisis impacting global markets. The other part of the carry trade is China. Just saying. Telegram founder Pavel Durov warns of privacy erosion from invasive laws like EU chat control, UK digital ID, and Australia's age verification, emphasizing crypto's role in defending freedoms. He says time is running out on the free internet. And he's not wrong. Protect yourself out there. Privacy is a big deal. It's a bigger deal than what most people think. And we have to pay attention to it. We really, really do. It's amazeballs. It's absolutely amazeballs. Anyway, you know what we should do? That's right. We should get into the numbers. Let me take care of my monitors. There you go. Let me get my notes out of the way. I know you guys don't want to see that nonsense. All righty. So Dow futures implied open very low, plus 24. S&P implied futures negative $2 or 2 points rather. NASDAQ implied open negative 10.25. All of it is basically unchanged. Oil down 0.70. US 10-year down 0.039. And you can see it right there on the headline. Stock futures are a little changed after S&P, NASDAQ pulled back from record highs. Why is that? Well, they made the money. Just saying. Just saying. Oh, I was going to mention this last night. Former Fed Governor Larry Lindsey was on the list to become Fed chair, and he's like, nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. Nope. The statement in and of itself, the move, the action, says a lot. It says a hell of a lot. Who's reporting today? Nobody that we care about. Let's see. What do we have going on today in terms of news? Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee is going to have remarks today. We're supposed to get consumer sentiment. Ha, ha, ha. We're supposed to get monthly U.S. federal budget. Ha, ha, ha. Just saying. Just saying. Fear and greed index is at 64. We were at 70. Before that, I think we were at 64 again. DeFi Llama, we have $165.655 billion in total value locked. Still a really good number. Anything above 150 is good. Anything above 150 for me is good. Then we're looking at Bitcoin, and you can see where we are right now. Remember, we drew this trend line yesterday based on over here, and right there. And this one seems to have moved a little bit. That's interesting. Let's fix that. Does it still line up right there, right there? Yep. It lines up right here, and right here. And we're below that, even that trend line right now. So how we were kind of tracking this trend line was acting as resistance. You can see how we bumped up to it, and basically said, yeah, now we're done. Well, now we're tracking to this trend line, and it looks like we're already beneath it. You can see right there, we're already beneath the new trend line. Yeah, not a lot of fun, but I think things are going to get better. I think things pull back a little bit more, as an overselling, overreaction, and then take off again. But I think that next takeoff is going to take us really high, and then I'm going to be done. I think that's what's going to wind up happening. That's how I'm looking at the cards right now. Looking at the big board, I'm looking at a whole bunch of opportunities. Link is at 22.52, Doge is at 25, LTC, DOT, H bar, hype. I'm basically everything that I told you before. XRP is at 281, Sol is at 220. ETH is at 43.44. I mean, these are all things that I'd be looking for. BNB is another one I'm looking at. I mean, it's well off its all-time high, but 12.52? What? BCH is a good buy. Obviously, Bitcoin, sprinkle, baby. Sprinkle. Let's see, looking at this board, you see everybody's, I mean, this is amazing that they're actually tracking about the same. Ethereum was higher. Ethereum has larger sways than Bitcoin. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I went to bed late. I got up early. It's tough. It's actually tough, right? So obviously, look at this. Do you not see Tether? Is anybody paying attention to Tether? Tether's been moving up. Tether's number 3. That was XRP space for a long time. Stablecoins just grow. Stable coins only grow. Just saying. And so it bunny hopped BNB. And I'm just looking at everything that's going on, and I'm kind of like, all right, so the battle's going to be on for number 4 and number 5. And it's going to take a lot. When you look at these other stable coins, at some point you're going to wind up seeing stable coins rule the top 10. At some point, that's what's going to wind up happening, and you'll have to remove those stable coins to see what's the actual top coins, top regular coins. Because you're not making money on stable coins unless they offer staking. Just saying. Let's see. Did I refresh this? I probably didn't refresh it. I didn't. Probably gonna have to log in again, which will be loads of fun. Yeah, it's taking too long. It's taking way too long. Oh, yeah, log in again. That's not a problem. We can wait. So let's look at the losers. Mantle down 12.79% with a GMB X factor of 0.28. I don't care. I'm still in the black. Because I got in. So right now I'm still in the black. So do I expect Mantle to take off again? I absolutely do. I might even hop in and get some more. Aster is down. Woof. Remember the other day I was crying that I might have gotten out too soon. I could have made a couple of more pennies. Well, Astra's down to $1.60. $1.60 from when I bought at like 202. And then they had gone after that. It went up to 213, 214. And look at the plummet now. Look at that plummet now. Yeesh. Scary, no? Yeah. It's got a GMBX factor of 0.51. Now, you could say that the plummet of Aster is driven by the just normal market, everybody's down. Or you could say it's that, and on top of that, they got delisted from DeFi Llama. Oops. Fix those numbers. Get back out there. Get back on DeFi Llama so you could have that. That would boost the number again. So wait until the market settles. And when the market starts coming back in this dip, when the market starts coming back, get right with DeFi Llama, and then this would just explode again. It would absolutely explode again. Just saying. Good morning, Turtle Bitcoin. Then you have Plot, and you have Plasma. Let's see who else. No, actually, you're at the 5. You're at the 5% rule, so nobody cares. Zora, never heard of it. Zcash up 24%. This is insane. Zcash up 24.34% with a GMB X factor of 12.69. I'm not touching Zcash. I mean, if I had a couple of extra bucks to play with, maybe I would take some chances. But it's up 24.34. Yeah, I'd be. I have nothing against it. I just, wow. That's all I'm going to say. BitTensor up 15.41% with GMB X factor of 1.01. Litecoin up 10.96, GMB X factor of 2.17. Let's see, Zebek Network up 8.48, GMB X factor of 0.37. GMB X factor can be used in a lot of different ways. It can help you determine momentum and risks, odds. I'm telling you, GMB X factor is a very important number. What else do we have? ZK Sync up 6.79, GMB X factor 4.55. Uniswap up 5%, almost on the dot, with a GMB X factor 4.48. Everybody else, you're beneath that my 5% rule, so I'm not going to pay that much attention to it, right? Yeah, I don't see anybody here that's really floating my boat. That means all the other coins. We covered the bottom, we covered the top. That means all the other coins out of the top 250 are just moving sideways. They're just moving sideways. Those are things that we should be paying attention to. So you can manage your bag, do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. That's the GMB3. Want to learn how to put that to use? Go buy my books. They're both on Amazon. I should say they're all on Amazon. I've written 4. But those 2 books are specifically around investment. Go to Amazon. Trust me. You'll be happy you get those books. You'll be incredibly happy. You'll be even more happy when I bring back the classes. Oh, I can't wait to bring back the classes. Can't wait to because I keep the price really low on the classes, and so many people show up. So I'm gonna bring back the classes. We just have a couple more things to do on the platform, and when the platform's out there, and if you're a big bagger, you probably haven't noticed, but the upper right hand corner, you're starting to see things. Yeah, we've got more things going in today, more things going in next week, and we're like right there. We can actually do credit card charges right now. So yeah. Also, Sunday, I have to get the invitation out. Sorry, big baggers. Sunday, Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. is the Big Bagger private video conference call. If you're not a big bagger, you're missing out on a lot. If you want to be a part of that video conference call, you got to become a big bagger. Everybody, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And as always, thank you for your trust. This is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you have a good one. See you tonight. Bye-bye.